Manchester United are poised to pull off the shock signing of Real Madrid midfielder Casemiro. The Red Devils have struggled to get deals done this summer and have been left scrambling following a disastrous start to the 2022-2023 season, which sees them bottom of the Premier League for the first time in 30 years. While linked to several names this summer, the reportedly impending transfer of Casemiro comes as a slight surprise and follows on from troubles with other targets. Manchester United have always prioritized the signing of a new central midfielder this window. After failing to sign both Frenkie de Jong and Adrien Rabiot, the Red Devils have turned to Casemiro to strengthen their presence in the middle of the park. The 30-year-old has won 5 UEFA Champions League titles with Real Madrid and has been a first-team regular since 2015. The Brazil international was a firm favorite under former manager Zinedine Zidane and plays predominantly as a defensive midfielder. Casemiro's reported €60 million price tag puts plenty of pressure on both club and player to prove the deal was worthwhile. But with the summer transfer window closing in less than a fortnight and the Red Devils' season starting so badly, Ten Hag couldn't afford to waste any more time on unsuccessful player negotiations. A Real Madrid regular for the past 7 years, Casemiro's departure comes as quite the surprise. The Brazilian played 48 games for Carlo Ancelotti's side last season and even played the full 90 minutes in their recent Super Cup victory. Casemiro was notably only used as a late substitute in Real's La Liga opener on August 14th. However, as the club seemingly prepared for his exit, Ancelotti was reportedly keen to keep the 30-year-old, but respected it was ultimately the player's call. Contracted to Real Madrid until 2025, Manchester United had to offer the Spanish giants big money to force through the transfer. The Red Devils' €60 million offer was 10 times more than what Los Blancos paid for Casemiro in 2013 and presents a huge sum for a 30-year-old. On Friday, August 19, Carlo Ancelotti confirmed Casemiro's impending departure. Casemiro wants to try a new challenge, and I and the club understand that. After all he's done for this club, we need to respect his decision. It's understood Casemiro trained with his Real Madrid teammates for the first 15 minutes of Friday morning's training session. Before saying his goodbyes, Ancelotti continued, "Casemiro is leaving, but we have a lot of resources to replace him. There is no turning back. Casemiro has decided to try a new challenge. We want to wish him the very best. Just yesterday I realized that Casemiro is leaving. But our plans don't change. We'll compete for everything with or without Casemiro. I think Casemiro has been a key player for us. He was important to Cruz and Modric. The combination was key to success. Casemiro's teammates understand his decision. They respect it. It was his will to try a new challenge, and we have to accept it. I can't reply to why Casemiro traded European champions for a struggling side. It's his personal decision." When Casemiro joined Real Madrid from Sao Paulo in 2013, it was a very different time for Los Blancos. The club continued to chase La Decima and had not won the UEFA Champions League in more than a decade, despite having some huge names in their team during that period of time. Not many could have imagined, though, that the little-known Brazilian defensive midfielder would go on to become the catalyst of so many magical nights in Europe. Casemiro ended up winning 5 Champions League titles for Real Madrid, a legendary run to say the very least. In fact, it was his introduction that helped galvanize the team and helped them to European glory on a consistent basis. Now Casemiro is leaving for Manchester United in a move that nobody could have seen coming. Yet, it looks like a Real Madrid exit might have been in the Brazilians' plans for much longer than expected, as far back as the club's Champions League final win over Liverpool last season. As reported by BBC, Casemiro said, "I spoke to my agent after the Champions League final, as I had the feeling that I was coming to the end of my cycle here. It was the hardest decision of my life, but I'm excited about what's ahead of me. I want to face new challenges, know a different league, a different country and a different culture. I'm going to the biggest team in the world that can compete with the greatness of Real Madrid, although now it doesn't. It will be interesting to see if Casemiro can help Manchester United back to their glory days, like he did at Real Madrid." The Red Devils have been a shadow of their former selves since the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson as manager. The club have signed one great player after the other, but nothing has worked till now, as they have struggled in the Premier League, as well as Europe. On the other hand, it will be a challenge for Real Madrid as well to adjust without Casemiro, but they are well positioned to do so, with the old guard in Luka Modric and Toni Kroos complemented by exciting young talents like Eduardo Camavinga and Federico Valverde. Last summer, Casemiro helped Brazil to win their first Copa America trophy since 2007. He was due a break. A few weeks after the final, he was enjoying some rest with his family in Sao Paulo when his earth shook. It was a Saturday night. He watched on television as his Real Madrid club mates took a beating from city rivals Atletico Madrid, 7-3, in a pre-season tournament in New Jersey. What he saw made his eyes hurt. Casemiro had a tough start in life. When he was 4 years old, his father walked out. His mother had to clean houses to bring some money home, while Casemiro looked out for his two younger siblings. It wasn't until he was 14 years old and taken into residency by Sao Paulo as a youth team player that he began sleeping in the same room night after night. He'd been used to alternating between a bed in his house, his aunt's house, his grandparents' house or teammates' houses. The hardscrabble upbringing has seemingly helped him, however. The work has paid off. After a shaky start at Real Madrid when he arrived in 2013, overweight for a reported fee of €6 million, and subsequently spent a season on loan at Porto, Casemiro has become irreplaceable, a linchpin of the famous Real Madrid team, which won 3 UEFA Champions League titles on the bounce from 2016 to 2018 and has designs on reclaiming their crown this season.